Hi guys, so we're going to try something a little bit different today. This is a diorama I've been wanting to build forever. King Kong diorama I came up with about a year and a half ago, and just really want to bring it to life finally and see what we can come up with. A lot of different mixed medias here. We have a toy, some styrofoam, some XPS foam. I mean, we've got a little bit of everything. So just stick around and you'll be able to see how we bring all this together. All right, we're going to go with plan A. You'll see why in just a minute. So this is how I kind of visualize different parts of the build. So I'm trying to see the size of the base and come up with a layout that works best for that size. So I'm kind of figuring out the height of Kong, how tall the skull is going to be for his cave. Now, if you notice on this one, I'm kind of laying everything out. I've got the little boaters down there, and I'm trying to figure out the river and, just bring everything together visually so that way I can figure out how we're going to do this. So, you'll see I'm digging out the cave and everything, getting everything ready. And I just start looking at stuff, and I'm sure everyone has come up with this, that sometimes your plan A doesn't work. So what do you have to do? You have to go to plan B. All right, so plan B, not much different. Went ahead and this is a styrofoam skull, so shaved out a bit of him. You've noticed the cave looks a little different. XPS foam instead of the regular foam. And of course, Kong is cut in half. And that was not easy considering he was solid rubber. So he was cut in half to basically save on space. So go ahead and in this case, we're going to put in some rocks and some homemade mud filler. Make sure we get that and all the crevices to kind of bring everything together. You'll see I have a little Tyrannosaurus Rex skull resin print I've been waiting to use probably for about 2 years. So we're finally getting that going. Laying down some more mud, putting some rocks in there for some different textures. You've seen this before. That's why everything's sped up. Originally, this video was going to be almost 45 minutes long. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but who really wants to sit here and watch me for 45 minutes? So, I mean, that's a regular show on TV. So I was able to whittle it down to about 11 minutes total. Just putting in some of that homemade basing. You've seen our videos before. Actually, we do have a video on how to make the homemade basing. Different size rocks and everything. Put on some drippy glue. Make sure we get it all in there. Now, of course, everyone's seen if you've watched anything online, you've seen the black paint. I use regular school glue. No need to really use the Mod Podge. I mean, really. So black school glue, all that stuff. Get everything based so that way I can peg everything together. So as you see, Kong had a little accident putting the stick in there. He had a chest accident with, maybe the drill bit had come through a little too far. But that's, I guess, going to work to our advantage. So we're going to repaint Kong to where he's not just a regular gorilla, but looks a little bit like he does in the movies. Put down a little bit of gray for his skin. Gotta love that. These guys, he was pretty good already, but the paint job not great. So I went ahead and slapped down that gray. And painted his mouth, the inside of his mouth, a nice red. A little bit of we have a little bit of the gloss in there. So now dry brushing him brown because he was black originally. So dry brushing him brown, getting him a little bit closer to some of the movies. And then that way we'll go ahead and touch up his gray. His chest wound eventually became red as well. Now we're going to go ahead and work on the terrain. So dry brush of gray all over. So that way you get that stone look. Make sure we get in there. Now, I didn't want to get into the crevices of the skull, so kind of leave that alone, work around all the outside of it, and the rocks. And of course, we're going to do brown for the ground. I didn't mean to rhyme, so if it came across that way, I apologize. So go ahead and get some tan in there for that that skull, and highlights for the brown. So a little bit of tan or khaki. Same thing with the skull. Kind of move that around in there, because eventually you'll see we're going to do some wash, like right here. Some brown wash to go on that. I'm also going to throw in some green airbrush. So we're going to kind of make a moss texture. So that moss color right there, you'll see I slap it down kind of liberally. Make sure we get it all, basically where moss would show up, usually on top of things. So that way it'll go ahead and fill out. It's going to make difference in colors. So we're going to do variants of colors, kind of dab it down a little bit. And it looks, it looks great. I didn't expect it to actually look as good as it did. All right, so Kong, he's going to be, we're going to suspend, belief. This is a big old cave system, so he's coming out to peek out, see what's going on. That's why he's coming out of the side like that. And now we're going to do a brown wash, get that all over. That stone. That brown wash is going to do its job over everything, including the T-Rex skull. Kind of get in there, get in the crevices. I think it looks pretty good myself. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me if you would have done anything different. Give me your ideas. Now, as everyone knows of me, I'm a little bit frugal. I don't like to spend a whole lot of money. So this is actually some tufts from Temu. And these tufts, really, I like these tufts. They're kind of thick. They're pretty robust. They're not as delicate as some of the other tufts. One is like a kind of like a brownish green. The others are brighter green. So I went ahead and kind of mixed them together. So that way we wouldn't have patches of bright and then patches of dark. Kind of have everything together on this, and just kind of putting it all around, because remember, this is going to be like a jungle atmosphere, so we're getting all that jungleness going on, all the different vegetations. You can still see we're still putting on the vegetation everywhere. Basically just wanted to come up with just, filling it in as much as possible. Like I mentioned, jungle terrain. So there's going to be a lot of vegetation, lush vegetation. Trying to also, if you notice, hide a little bit of Kong, trying to create that depth of his cave to make it seem like it goes in for quite a while. As well as, getting a few pops of color in there with the red. But as you can see, we're just getting everything in together. So just making sure everything kind of flows. As you see, the front is carved out because that's going to be our river. So that's why no vegetation's going in there. And you'll see how we come up with that river here in a minute or two. That way you kind of bring everything together, but just making sure everything looks good. Everything makes sense. Now, I'll be honest, I've never been in the jungle, so I'm kind of just going off of imagination. So we're trying to make sure that we get, all that put together. Here we go. Let's make the river. We're going to go with the ultra clear silicone caulking. So, not that expensive. I'm not the biggest fan of resin pours, mainly because I'm not that good at it. But we just use this. I'm going to make some lines, and really, we're going to go ahead and just use a big old popsicle stick and just kind of mush it together so it kind of looks like a flowing river. Fill in little holes where we need to, and you'll see as it goes. It's pretty convincing. Came up with this when I was doing a build for that with a little Hulk, and he was in a body of water trying to help someone who had crashed, and use that to fill it in, and it works great. It'll basically trap in anything you put in it. So if you notice, we put the boaters in there, so they're going to be in there really good. And now for the glamour shots, I'll go ahead and remain quiet so you can enjoy these. All right, guys, make sure you subscribe, comment, like, notification bell, all that good stuff.